from the Bahamas, please.
Thank you, Excellency. Excellencies, distinguished guests, the Bahamas, like many other small island development states within the wider membership of CARICOM and friends and neighboring regions that stretch across the Atlantic, as well as far away in the Pacific, have repeatedly expressed our profound impacts that sea level rise, an outcome of climate change, has had on our way of life. My beautiful country, blessed with rich marine biodiversity, is up against relentless attack. Rising temperatures are resulting in large-scale coral bleaching events at rates that cannot be abated despite our best efforts at rejuvenation. Super hurricanes are no longer just potential seasonal threats, but have become permanent fixtures in our climate landscape. Salt intrusion into our groundwater, amplified by destructive storm surges, has rendered traditional water sources unsustainable for human consumption and agricultural applications. Coastal erosion threatens to undermine the very foundations of our homes and infrastructure. Fisherfolk face increasingly rough seas as well as rising temperatures that have simultaneously threatened the consumption of safety of reef species while driving migratory stocks further north. This is just a glimpse of the climate change-induced challenges that we face. Yet, despite these challenges, we Bahamians remain resolute in our ability to adapt and to guard against further harm. We are investing in sustainable development practices that prioritize environmental conservation and resilience. This includes strengthening the conservation elements of our fisheries regulations, passing the Biological Resources and Traditional Knowledge Act, which further protects our marine resources for future generations. Learning from the devastation of Hurricane Dorian in 2022, we passed a Disaster Risk Management Act that strengthened the country's disaster risk management framework. This framework is informed by policies that focus on vulnerable groups and implements practical measures while early warning systems that ensure communities receive real-time notifications. We are promoting renewable energy sources and have committed to a 30% target by 2030. Through community outreach and public-private partnerships, we continue to build awareness by engaging our greatest asset, our people, to foster a culture of sustainability for our future. While the Bahamas remains adaptive and resilient at a local level, we reiterate the calls to action outlined in the Leaders' Declaration 2023 and impress upon member states of the United Nations and our partners to renew their commitments to tackle with expediency and urgency the triple threats of pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Narratives must be met with concrete resources, commitments, and meaningful targeted support. In closing, while we all have our different perspectives on what actions are necessary to address the threats, we face and remain hopeful that the presence of member states here today is evidence of commitment that we share to forge an effective path.
Thank you to the Bahamas from the Caribbean. Now the Pacific, the Excellency from